What's up, everybody? It's a late night stream. Um, you guys ready to have an aneurysm? You ready? I bought Big Tree Tech boards because I have a little more confidence in these than the CR6 one, and apparently Big Tree Tech makes a CR6 board, so we'll see how that goes. But they showed up today. I was like, did Big Tree Tech send me something? And I was like, oh, I forgot. I forgot I bought them because I don't know if you guys know, but the stock Creality boards are catching on fire. And for the most part, the Big Tree Tech ones don't seem to catch on fire. They just seem to have stability issues, and I'll take stability issues over fire. I don't know. But I got two of them, just in case. Just in case one doesn't work. Hopefully I have one working board. So we'll see. We'll see if these work. But we'll be messing around with that on the CR6. But tonight we have the Sunlu S8, and I just wiped this off, and it was on the floor for 2 days. And it's so dusty in here. Now, before we get started, I did print before everything went off, and I have the G code on the card here still. So we'll run the same exact G code. And what I want to show is what the print quality difference is between stock and after we do these upgrades to it. So, yeah, the CR6 boards are literally catching on fire, like char marks, burn marks, smoke. And sadly, they have proprietary ribbon cable connectors, so you can't easily swap out a board. But Big Tree Tech has one, and I'm hoping that at least it'll be somewhat reliable, because I was like, ugh. That's why I don't use the machine on our farm, is I've seen too many reports of them literally catching on fire. So, yeah. But let's show you guys what this stock print quality looks like right now. Because this is our baseline. This is where we're starting out. So this machine is stock, and I do have our firmware on here. So the only thing modified is our firmware, and the only part I'm not going to show you guys, because I already did it before I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a video, is I did get rid of the glass bed. This is just a random older flex plate I have that's got an easy mat on it. This is really old. This is probably like 2 or 3 years old. But I keep it around just for testing. So either way, it worked. But the bed is solid mounted already, which I show you. You can see here I've already installed our solid mounts. I was testing fitment, and they do indeed fit. And this is just our universal kit. So if you look on our solid TH3D solid bed mounts, it's the one it's called the universal kit. It's just the 4 strains. You can also I wouldn't recommend printing your own because it's a heated bed. It will warp them, but these are aluminum and ABS. And like, look how solid that is now. Like, stiffened it up really nice. So I did use manual mesh leveling. I used manual mesh leveling on here because I already solid mounted the bed. I already put Loctite on here. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a video on this. Anyways, I digress. This is about the Sunlu. So here's what we're dealing with stock with this machine. And this is with their filament. So I'm trying to have control over as much stuff. So this is with a CR10 profile in Simplify 3D. Nothing fancy. And this is our stock print quality. And the main thing I'm not happy with on this machine is the overheating here. The overheating. You can see the layer fan is abysmal here. That's like, in my opinion, the #1 drawback on this machine is the layer fan is terrible. Look at the smokestack here. If you have poor layer cooling, you'll see these issues presenting itself on the smokestack. Yeah, like you see right here, and then here on the front of the boat. I'm not a boat guy, but I think, isn't that the bow? I'm not sure. But either way, we see a lot of indications that we're not getting good cooling. You can also see the top layers breaking up here. Again, can be attributed to not enough cooling. So what we're going to do today is not only add some more features on, but we're going to address the cooling. So in our firmware pack for this printer, because this printer is officially supporting Unified 2, I'm running Unified 2 on it right now. I super glued the AC receptacle in I used like a gel type super glue. So the AC receptacle is not flopping about anymore. But I did include this. This is Red Squirrel Designs. I included the download from Thingiverse with his license and everything. I did not make this. This is something that another guy made. But what I did make was an EZABL probe mount to bolt up on the side here for this mount. Now this is printed in ABS. I like this mount because it's simple. We got a spot for a 5015 fan here, and then we have the EZABL mount here, and this is the bracket I made to go onto this guy's mount. It's nice and simple. I was originally going to do like a Hero Me, but I like the simplicity of this, so that's what we're going to be putting on tonight. In addition to that, I'm also going to be putting on our TH3D 5015 24 volt fan, and this will be our layer fan. I don't know if I'm going to use our quick connects or if I'm going to solder and heat shrink it. We do include quick connects for those of you guys that don't like soldering. They don't look pretty, or as pretty as heat shrinking and soldering, but they do work well. And then I'm going to be getting rid of the plastic extruder and putting on just our basic aluminum one. And then also have this is a cutoff from another machine, but our tough tube on the hot end. And then I already opened this because I had taken pictures to test fit it. EZABL Pro, here's a sensor, here's a control box. This is the other part for the mount. This is like a retaining clip. And then cut my tubing. These are zip ties that come with the EZABL for cable routing. And finally, the EZFlex 2. So this will give us a nice flexible build surface. I'm going with the textured on this one. And this is a really easy installation. You peel this back off here, and it sticks on to the bed, just like that once we remove the adhesive. And then you have a flex plate. So you print on this, and then to get your parts off, you just do this. That's it. So that's what we're going over tonight. I do want to point this out because we do have support for the stock hot end for those of you guys that for some reason want to use it. We did design a mount for the EZABL for this machine on the stock hot end, and you can see that is fitted here. Just a standard bracket here, uses the 2 screws for the hot end, and you mount it here. Offsets are already in the firmware, but we're not going to be using this because this layer fan is terrible. Terrible. Fine. Hey Google, turn on LED cube. You guys in that damn cube. I should just get rid of it. All right. Let's get this party started. There. Happy? Happy? My little infrared blaster is setting it to the right mode right now. There it goes. So, what should we start with first? I'm thinking we start with the hot end upgrades. So, we're going to do the hot end, and we're going to change. So, I'm going to pull the tubing. I'm going to pull the stock fan shroud, get the new one mounted up, splice in the new fan. Then we'll put the tough tube on, and then we'll do the extruder. So, one thing I do want to recommend is that since we are reusing the stock hot end appears to be of decent quality, is that we want to heat the hot end to get this tubing out, because this tubing goes all the way down into the melt zone. So we need to heat this up to get the tubing out of the hot end. And I also have filament loaded in there if you guys don't notice that. So let's get this party started. All in all, like aside from the layer fan issues, once I glued the AC receptacle in it, I started like going over this printer more, and especially, I don't know if you guys saw when I was literally pounding on the bed. This is a lot of machine for $200. Except if you don't already have a printer to print replacement, I hear a fan already going out. Unless there's a wire rubbing. There could be a wire rubbing. Is there seriously a fan going out, or is it a wire rubbing? Hang on. Let me poke around in here. Let me see. Oh, it's rubbing. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can get that It's the LCD cable. I turned the power off at my power strip, so let me see. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I barely have 8 hours on this. There's no way there's a fan going out that soon. Okay, we're good now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and preheat. I don't know if you guys caught that, but it is running our firmware already. That's really the only modification to it at this point. So we're going to go to temperature, and I'm going to go ahead and preheat PLA, and we're going to do just the end. We're going to go ahead and preheat that, so that'll take a sec. While we're waiting for that to heat, let's check out chat. I don't think this is super loud. I don't think it's louder than most other printers in this range. My buddy's kids were here, and they were messing with my mic, and my shock mount is all fucky. Oh, they stretched it out. That's why we can't have nice things. My shock mount is like extra wobbly. All right, well, guess I have to order a new shock mount because I do not have cord. Yeah, we're still not heated. It does heat pretty slow on the hot end. I think it's because of the fan overcooling the heater block, but we'll see. All right. So many people with back channels now. WC1376 said, did you see what I wrote above? The only thing I didn't see in any of the videos as a downside happened to me. Let me see. I did not. Just received mine today, that out-of-the-box bed leveling WTF. Oh yeah, the stock bed leveling procedure, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Let's see here. Man, the actual Blue Yeti mounts are out of stock. I'm gonna have to get some generic one. I guess this is a generic one I have now. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, we're at temp, so I can unload the film in a sec here. CR10 boards catching fire, yeah. How third proxy mean more reliable or more flame retardant? Oh, the CR6 board? Yeah, I'm more concerned about the stock one catching on fire and causing a fire. And yeah. I'll take my chances with the BTT board in my CR6 instead of the stock one after what I've seen happening with the stock one. All right, I'm still almost caught up with chat here. LED cube, that's already fixed. Telly says, sup, man? Hope all is well. Merry Christmas. That's as good as it can get, man. Merry Christmas to you. Mills, my factory fed on my Ender 5 Pro run out fairly quick, 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, it's not unheard of. I've had anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. I've had a couple months. It's all across the board. What else do we have here? Dominic, Tough 2 versus Capricorn. They do the same thing. Ours is cheaper, and I believe I'd wager to say we have a little more consistency on our tube because I've personally got Capricorn on machines where the holes are off center and diameters are off, whereas I think we've had one complaint in 3 years where a diameter was off on our tubing. In 3 years, I've had multiple issues with Capricorn being out of diameter, which is why I use our stuff now. All right. Let's get on with the upgrades. This is going to be a more casual stream. I just wanted to share the upgrade process with you guys and hang out and just kind of shoot the shit. There will probably be swearing. I mean, we are working on a printer, so, it's like working on a car. Sometimes you're just going to have swearing. It's just how it is. Who is calling me right now? Let's see. It's probably a telemarketer. Hello? Yep. Yep. Tell her. Can you go lay down? Go. Go on your bed. Go. She's being needy every time. She'll be fine and she'll sleep the rest of the day. But as soon as I fire a stream up, we're like, okay, it's time to be needy. All right, so I pulled a little clip off there. Let's go ahead and cut these zip ties so we can get the tube out. And I believe so we sell the tubing in 1 meter increments, and this is left over from another machine. And I believe it should be long enough. We're about to find out. Oh, wait, did you guys see that? We're going to take this Hotend apart a little bit because there's no way this is all metal. I wonder if they have... No. They have regular PTFE in here. And this almost feels like what they did was like Luke's Hotend fix, if you guys saw that. I want my PTFE from here to go all the way down in so I get the high temp resistance that this gives me. And that actually looks like that's going to be the perfect length. Okay. So I looked at that and I was like, this looks like the perfect length. So, all right. Go ahead and get that out. Get this out. Let's see. I might, if I have to go grab another, oh no, we're good. So you want to measure your stock tubing. If you're replacing tubing, on most machines, like I said, we're going to take a look at how they did the Hotend on this. You just cut the tubing to the new one, and always use, when you cut your tubing, okay, you want to make sure you use a tubing cutter, or if you're really steady with a razor blade, you can do that, but you want to use a tubing cutter because it cuts it at a flush angle, and we sell these in the shop. They're only a couple dollars, and the main one you want to have a flat end on is going into your Hotend. Over here doesn't really matter that much, but in Hotends where this is in the melt zone, you want this to seat flat against your nozzle. If you cut this at an angle, or what I've seen tons of people do, and then they screw up the flow rate, they'll use side cutters to cut this. Do not use side cutters. Use a razor blade or order a tubing cutter. I've had the same tubing cutter. This is probably 3 years old. They last a long time. But anyways, so we're going to go ahead and turn power off. I've got the filament unloaded, and we're going to start taking apart this Hotend. And I have not taken it... I don't think I took it apart too much on the stream when we built it, but I haven't done much with this machine aside from putting the solid bed mounts on, and then I threw the glass in the garbage. Because I do not use glass. It is 2020. We use flex plates like civilized people. Kind of hard to hear you when you're facing the printer. All right, hang on. Yeah, there might be a little more background noise, but I turned my mic onto omnidirectional mode, so you guys should hear me better. I use the cutters all the time. Maybe you have a different style. I like these because these have the groove in them, and you just kind of put that in there and then let it just go right in, and then you squeeze it. All right, so let's get this stock fan shroud off. And we are going to reuse, you know, I should have grabbed a new 24-volt fan because, like, for the 40, because I know it's going to not last long. They never do. But it's a little late for that. So we're just going to reuse that. So what I am going to do, though, okay, so these are heat shrunk on here. Let's see. So I'm going to be replacing this fan here. We're going to keep using this one. So I want to take this fan out. Looks like we got 4 screws on here. And there's the LED. The fan mount that I got, or I found, I should say, I didn't make it. It's a Red Squirrel. I think I put a link to it in the video description. It's also, there's a copy of it in the firmware folder as well for this printer. I've been mirroring copies, like the full zip file that Thingiverse gives out, when I do find mounts, because Thingiverse has been more and more unreliable, and it would suck to lose access to those files or have someone not be able to print something because, well, Thingiverse is down. So we're just going to go ahead and take all these out, and then I want to take a look at how they did this Hotend. I'm assuming there's a piece of PTFE in here and maybe some sort of collar. And what I'm going to do is have my PTFE go all the way down into the hot end. I'm going to try to keep up with chat. You know, people keep asking us about having our own tool set. Do you think people would actually buy that? I just feel like there's so much competition in that space. It's not worth it. I don't even know what brand this set is, but I've had it for a while. I just don't know if people would actually buy a tool set from us. I mean, I definitely have the connections to get one made. But, you know, it's like the amount of time it would take to get one made that's nice and everything. I don't know if it'd be worth it. So, all right, I'm going to unclip the LED from here. That was simple enough. Just release these two tabs. What do I think about Prusa printers? I think it's nice that we have an alternative, but it's very much geared towards Prusas. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and carefully cut this heat shrink here. I'm going into this blind. I have not torn into this machine's hot end yet, so you guys are... I'm doing it live, as the memes say. We'll do it live! And when you cut in here, you want to make sure you don't cut the wires. I've been doing this for a while, but if you haven't, take your time and make sure you don't cut your wires. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I don't care about this fan here. This is the one we're replacing, and I want as much wire to work with, so I'm going to cut this towards the fan here, and this is going in the trash. It's in the trash. And like I said, I want to take a look at this hot end to see how that's put together. So let's see how it is. Let me see what chat's saying here. Oh yeah, that is a good tip. Putting the filament in the tube. I've never had my cutters crimp a tube. You should be using something very sharp like a razor blade or a tube cutter to cut PTFE. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time down the line. Dazed and Removed said he just ordered this printer as a project. Yeah, it's definitely a little project. The main thing is people buying this for their first printer are going to have a hard time if they don't have another printer. But I will say if you guys do have this and it's your only printer and you have a hard time printing an aftermarket mount, we do prints. I printed this on our ABS machines here. So this is just I did this like 80 millimeters a second. I don't care about my parts looking super pretty. They need to be functional. You can see I've already removed supports. I did print some in PLA just as backups, in case I somehow crack it. I have 2 sets sitting here. But anyways, let me see what else chat says. Okay. Let's see. I'm assuming there's going to be a piece of tubing in here that's like crushed or something and something stopping it. Okay, so this is not a pass-through. So look at this fitting. This is not a pass-through. So I'm assuming there's... Oh, is that the heat break? Oh, that goes all the way up. What the hell? I want my tubing all the way in here. Let's see. Is this still hot? It's warm, but it's not like burn you hot. Oh, there's another set screw. All right, well let's take this apart a little bit. Let's see if I can get this heat break out and see if I can get our PTFE into it. This is a nice design because this prevents the tubing from backing out, but I do want my higher temp stuff in here. All right, so now I can just spin this off. And let's see. I doubt I'm going to be able to pull this out. I might have to heat this up, but we'll see. So there's a piece of PTFE in there. Can you guys see that? And I'm assuming that's a standard diameter PTFE. So I can cut a piece of the tough tube off and replace it. So we're gonna check that out right now. Let me grab another set of pliers. I have to go to the garage. I'll be right back. Come on. Come on. Come on, dog. Back in. All right. So I got some, I think they're channel locks. I can't remember what these are called. All right, so I'm going to grab this. I'm going to see if this will come out. If there's not filament in it, it should. No, I'm going to have to heat it. All right, well, like I said, so basically once I'm done with this machine, this is going in the print farm, so I want to have our tubing in there. You don't have to do this, but since that does have PTFE in it, the problem is that if you go over 240C, it's going to start breaking down. It looks like a Creality hot end might bolt up to this. But I'm going to turn this up to, I'm going to have the nozzle go to 220. And then I'm going to cut the power. And that heat break should come out then. So if you notice, I have this set here, but it's not touching anything. This fan is moving, so just be careful. I do this a lot when I'm working on the machine. So I'm going to let that get up to temp. It's already at 82. It should heat up pretty quick. These threads up here really don't matter. They do kind of thread in here, but there's so much play in here, it doesn't matter if some of these threads get messed up. Doesn't matter. They're actually not gone if you look. There's some marks on there, but again, I don't care. You can see where the set screw bit in down here. So it's an interesting hot end. It doesn't matter which one I loosen up, Llama. I mean, although I see what you're saying, because the nozzle has a thing. Okay, fine. Fine. We're at 200. I'm gonna turn it off. Let me gotta work fast. Get the sock off. Woo! Woo, it's warm. Alright. I'm gonna turn power off. And unplug it. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make Llama happy. I'm gonna do the nozzle first. See. That does not want to budge. Alright, let me turn it back on and tell it to heat. I'm gonna grab my actual socket set this time. I think this is an 8mm. I think it's an 8. Yep. We were actually still at 180, so, but whatever. I'm gonna have it heat up a little bit more. I was not expecting this to be this weird. What's the worst burn? I actually have not been burned by a nozzle, surprisingly. Knock on wood. Maybe tonight will be the night. But knock on wood, I have not been burned by a nozzle, and I've done some stupid shit. Llama's saying that it's... Well, you know what? I want to take it apart just for curiosity's sake, even if I can't swap out the PTFE tubing. I want to see what's inside here. Because that's just how I operate. All right, let's try this. All right, so that loosened. That's still actually pretty tight. Well, I'm going to grab it all the way at the top here. Again, I don't care if I mess the threads up. There we go. All right, we're loose. Let's see what secrets it holds. That looks like it might be 4. I don't know about you guys. That looks like it's 4mm. All right. It looks like 4. That's 4. That's definitely 4mm. So we can replace this. All right. So let me get an Allen key that's longer. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just push this in. Oh, wow, that's actually not that long. Look at this one in. That's weird. Oh, yeah, look at how big that is. But this is 4mm, definitely. All right, so I'm going to, let's see how far this goes in. Does this stop? Is there like, okay, so this does stop. Okay. So I'm going to cut a piece of the tough tube the same length as this and put it inside this heat break. And that'll give me the high temp resistance then. So remember I said this was long. That's the end that I cut flat. Yeah, it is. All right, so I'm going to cut this the exact same length as the one I took out of here. So let me mark this and then I'm going to cut it. All right, so I put a little mark on there, and I'm going to cut it. And let's go ahead and put it in here. All right. Now this should... Voila! We have high temp tube now. And look at that. It's not going in any further. All right, so I'm happy with that. This is probably still very hot, so I'm going to go ahead and hold that with my channel locks here. And we're going to go ahead and put that back in. And I am going to hot tighten it, but I want to make sure that this is hitting the back of the heat break. And there should be, when you reseat your nozzle, there should be a gap between the nozzle and the heater block. You can see here I don't have that. So I'm going to back this out just like a quarter of a turn. So you see I have a little bit of a gap. And now I'm going to put the heat break in until it goes up against the back of the nozzle, which it is now. All right, now it's butt up. So what I'm going to do now is heat this to 240 and tighten this real quick. And that should give me a nice seal between the back of the nozzle and the tube. So I'm going to go ahead and power back up. My fan is like wanting to eat things. All right, fan going to be happy now? All right, so this is fine. It's not going to touch anything. Let's go ahead and put the nozzle to 240, and then we'll give it a tighten, then we'll cut power again and move on with the installation. So, like I said, this is not meant to be like a huge tutorial video. This is more of a, I'm working on a printer and decided to stream it. So, do anything you see in here at your own risk. What else? Let's see. Let's see what we have going in chat while we're waiting for that to heat. We're at 102 now. Yeah, I thought about replacing this hot end, but you know what? Honestly, this is going to work just fine for our print farm. This is probably going to do mostly PLA and PETG. We've got the tough tube in there now. I'm not worried about it. We're almost at temp. We're at 216. Just waiting for it to get to temp now. Almost there. How much is the new mount? You can print it yourself. But I mean, if you want us to print it for you, I think a mount like that would be under 30 bucks, I want to say. Just knowing how long it took to print and the time, and then obviously support removal. Support removal is kind of a pain. But it'd be under 30 bucks, and that's for ABS. I always do my hot end mounts in ABS when I can. I've had luck with PETG, but with PLA for certain mounts, they just kind of get soft over time and they start deforming. So we're almost at 240. We're leveling out. I'm gonna let it sit there for a sec, just kind of heat everything up. Then I'll cut the power, hot tighten it, and then we'll be good. The Capricorn and our tubing both definitely have less friction and they're slicker than your standard PTFE. But the main reason I like changing the tubing out is the internal diameter of this, and I'll show you guys this. And ours is really good. You're probably gonna be able to just see this on here, but I can bust the calipers out. So let's enhance. So you can see the stock tubing on the top there and ours on the bottom. Now, where's my caliper? Hang on. Fuck. All right. So let's here, let me just show you that again. Hang on. They're fighting me. I'm trying to get these lined up. All right, hang on. There we go. So stock on the top, ours on the bottom. So let's take a measurement here. So I'm going to zero these out, and I'm going to put that in here, and we're going to go ahead and measure the internal diameter. And we're at 2.0, okay? Versus ours. Hang on. Let me set this down. Right here, right at like 1.84. So the specs are within 0.05 internal diameter, and it's rated at 1.9. So we're within tolerances here. I'm also holding this and I'm kind of shaky. So what that means is there's less play inside of the tubing for your filament. So you don't need to use high retractions. There's less slop. So like when you pull the filament through the tube, it's actually being retracted or extruded instead of it slopping inside the tube. All right, let's get this hot tightened. Get them in the clamp. I was expecting the heat break to be hot, but it wasn't. All right, so I just gave it a little bit of a turn. That's it. Nothing crazy, just a little bit of a turn. And that's usually all you need, especially on the PTFE ones. What keeps a tough tube from backing out and creating a gap with the nozzle? This has a cap on the heat break. I don't know if you're just tuning in, but the tube butts up against the back of this heat break here. So this nozzle's still quite warm. But let me put the heatsink back on. Trying to see where the set screw market is. Where is it? Right about there. Okay. We can always adjust this later if we need to, but that looks pretty good. We can see where the nozzle's sitting. You know what? I'm looking at how much is poking out the top. I'm going to get it and go One more up. And now we're going to put the set screw in. All right. Let's go ahead and get that mounted back on here. I believe that was these two screws. Nope, those are not long enough. Probably these two longest ones here. One. There we go. All right. I'm just going to make sure this is level by loosening these and pushing down and then tightening. Because what I want is the heatsink to sit on the top of the screw inside the hole here, so it doesn't give me a cockeyed nozzle at the end here. All right. So let's go ahead and put the PTFE fitting back in. Now, I would probably say if you have issues with this Hotend, replace it with a Creality one, because it looks like the Creality hole spacing, and I believe there was someone in chat that says that they actually did this to theirs. They put a Creality Hotend on here. But the reality is this is just a standard design. Probably going to work just fine for 90% of people. So the next thing we need to do is we need to get the new Hotend on here, Hotend mount. So how this works is you got this little clip on the side here, and of course the piece I need. Oh, here it is. This piece here bolts onto the side here, so we're going to put two M3 screws through here. This clips on here, and let's see how the fitment is. Pretty good. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. I selected this one because this one seemed to be pretty well designed. So we got channel here for the cable, we got strain relief, and then we even have a spot here for the LED. So I really like this design. So let's go ahead and put that on. The LED should be good, the fan should be good. I'm going to pull that in the front. Is this going to fit? Does this not fit? Wait. Are you kidding me? Does this not fit this Hotend? Did they change the Hotend design on this? Am I going to have to put a Creality on here? I don't know if I have a Creality laying around. This is hitting the Hotend. Did Sunlu change this design to this Hotend? I might have to put a Creality. That might have been all a waste. Damn. That's annoying. I don't know if I have to have a Creality Hotend. Did I seriously mess that up? Is there a silver version? Because I feel pretty stupid right now. I could always just change the Hotend. I'm pretty sure we have Creality Hotends out in the print farm in our parts bins, and that might be what I have to do. I thought I put a link. Yeah, okay, 5015 fan mount. Oh, that's what you mean by 3 different models. I thought you meant like the, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? I thought you meant like the fans that they can take. Okay, I see Shroud 4010 silver, Shroud 5010 clamp. This is the only 5015 one, which is what I printed. Hang on, I'll show you. I was like, wait. Now, there's no preview for some of these, but you can see here, there is a silver S8 shroud, but this is a 4010. And this is also a 4010. So they don't have one for the 5015 that's for the silver one. I'm pretty sure this is what I printed. Let's see here. Let's see what the difference is. Is it just a wider opening? It is. So the question is, if it's just a wider opening, can I bust out the Dremel? I feel like I might be able to bust out the Dremel here. If I shave down this side here with my sander, yeah, you know what? I think I can still get away with this. If I snip this off, sand it down with the Dremel. Yeah, I don't think there was. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, because this is the thing right here. There's the clamp and the duct, and that's it. So let's put it to a vote. Should I try to sand it down and use the silver Hotend, or should I rummage and see if I can find a Creality Hotend? Because I'm pretty sure I have a Creality Hotend somewhere. I have. I have Creality heater blocks. You know, and we don't sell Creality Hotends anymore. We used to. Okay, so if I sanded that down, it's still going to hit the side. That's upsetting. That's upsetting. Yeah, let's well, if I modify it and then it doesn't work with the Creality one, then I have to reprint it. And obviously can't do that in real time. Let's look at these both in let's look at these both here in Simplify 3D and see what the differences are. Just basically going to use this as a previewer. So let's line up. Let's line these up. Well, I guess the duct lineup is what I should be lining up, is the duct. Let's see. So if I line the duct up, yeah, that's a pretty big difference. I don't think I'm gonna be able to sand that down. Because look at that. So I could cut this, but look at now I'm eating into this space here. Oh wait, hang on. I'm gonna line these holes up here. The actual ones for the carriage. You see these? Let's see. Okay, so let's see where we're at now. So I would need to shave off this to fit the silver Hotend. So if I could, no, god damn. Am I the PLA one? You know what? I like how you think. I got to get the supports out of it first. I don't think this is going to work, because if I look at this and I eyeball... No, because even if I do this, it's going to only have a tiny little bit on this side left here. So this is accurate. So I should just swap this damn... I could cut the aluminum down. Will you guys leave if I go run out to the shop for about 5-10 minutes and try to find a Hotend? I'm pretty sure I have a Creality Hotend out there. Or are you guys gonna all leave me? This is annoying. I do have a bench grinder in the garage. Yeah, so here's the thing. If we look at this, if we switch over to this, I'm going to lose a lot of fin space on here, and I don't know if this is going to cool enough, because if you think about the Creality ones, this centerpiece is very thin. My gut's telling me to go get a Creality Hotend, because those are readily available. So anybody else doing this mod, they can go buy a Creality Hotend. They're like $15, $20. The shop is 150 feet from me, so... Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. Was this in the thing? Was this in the description? Let me see. Oh, it does say here, so I didn't read. Oh, no! I didn't notice in his pictures, though, that he had the red Hotend. I'll go pick up... I'm going to go grab another length of Tough Tube, because obviously I cut mine short to put it in there. And, yeah. I'd rather just have the Creality one, to be honest. And I'm pretty sure I have some. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some music on. Let me cue up some music from our buddies over at From Zero to Z. And, I mean, we'll just roll with it. Just going to change my countdown timer here to say starting in be right back in okay. I'm going to wimp out and get a Hotend. I mean, fine. Here, you want me to try this? I feel like this is going to be a waste of time, but screw it. All right. So I have these PLA ones that I printed. I did not remove the supports from them. All right, good enough. So let's see. Since Tom wants to be a pain in the ass, Mr. Llama, take us with you. Take me to your litter. All right, let's see. Let's see. Can I get my snips in here? Ooh. That would shoot. I can hit the ceiling. Oh. All right. All right, I got enough support out there. All right, let's see. No, you know why? The block is hitting the ducts. The ducts are in a different position. So, and the holes don't line up. So even if I can get this on here, it's hitting the heater block. So if this side's on here, it's hitting the heater block. Where's the Dremel? It's sitting over on my shelf there. Now let's get the rest of the supports off here. All right. Okie dokie. Headphone warning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I need to use lower speed. It's melting the PLA. I think I need a different attachment. I don't know if I have anything other than a sanding wheel. Well, that will work for this application. I do have cutting wheels, but okay, so here's the thing. This has to get sanded down to be really, really thin. Yeah, this is... I'm going to go get a Hotend. So I'm going to put some... Let's all take a trip to the shop. How could I feed that in? How could I feed that in? Could I somehow have OBS? Hang on, let me see if I can figure this out. Because I have the stream set up not to auto stop. Meaning I could stop it on my computer and pick it up. Let me install this on my phone here, because they do have Streamlabs for the computer. Or for my Android phone, I should say. No, I do have Wi-Fi. I don't have anything set up to pull the camera feed from my phone into this OBS instance. So, I know Joel just reorganized the print farm parts recently, like in the last couple days, so we'll see. Oh, I see what you're saying. So do a call from my phone through Teams, screen capture Teams. I knew there was a reason I kept you guys around. Can I call? I would have to set up a meeting and then join the meeting. Let me see here. Let me try Streamlabs. Streamlabs has an actual app for the phone. So I should be able to pick the stream up and then... Oh, no, the shop cams aren't going to show you much of anything. Let's see. Let's sign in with my Streamlabs account. Oh, hang on. Not what I wanted. Last pass, let's see. Can't remember my password. That's okay, because I use a password manager. If you guys don't use a password manager, you need to. It's 2020. Use a password manager. Copy password. There we go. I paste it in. Is that you trying to sign in? Yes, it is. All right, let's see. I'm gonna switch over. Are we back? I think we're back. Ah, okay. Well, let's go to the shop. Let's go to the shop. Let's see how my Ubiquiti access points handle this transition here. Did we transition to the new AP? I don't think we did yet. Oh, yeah, we did. And now we are... It says we're buffering. Alright. Let's see here. Can you see me? Oh, we should probably do that. Alright. Let's see. Where are the hot-end parts? Where? Sorry, there we go. Chat. Aaron says other side. Other side. Miscellaneous hardware, print farm, hot-end parts! Oh, and look at that. It has hot-end parts in it. This is magical. Do we have any Creality hot ends? Oh, we got, oh, this is like the metal knockoff one. I mean, we could use that if we had to. Do we have an actual Creality one? I want an actual Creality hot end. And if we don't, how the hell do we not have an actual Creality hot end in here? That's the all-metal clone. How do we not have an actual Creality hot end in here? Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's the ANET one. No one wants that. I don't even know what this is. What the hell is this? I mean, we could use this if we had to. This takes an MK8 nozzle, but this is like, I think a supplier sent this to us. It's like some sample of like a Micro Swiss knockoff, and I didn't like them. But that's all I have to work with. Printer hardware. Miscellaneous hardware. Nozzles. That's definitely fans. It's an accurately labeled bin. Let's see, did some get put in extruder parts? Nope. Cable ends PTFE. Oh, hey, I need some tough tube. Alright, we got some tough tube. And looks like there's an assortment of tough fittings. Well, I'll take those. Actually, you know what? I just need these, and that's a generic one. Alright, those are ours. That's what I was looking for. The ones with the pass-through. Alright, well, I can't believe that this does not have... Okay, I'm going to have to order some Creality hot ends. Because we should have some spares. I can't believe we don't, but this is a Creality stock nozzle, it looks like, which should fit into this. Let's see, hang on. I got a kickstand on my phone. Hang on. Whee! Oh no, it's upside down now. Okay, that threads in, and this should be the fitting for this. Yep, that'll work. Alright, well. Oh god. Whee! Okay, now we're right set up. Yeah, I don't think we have any, unless Aaron's got some in his drawers. Let's go through Aaron's drawers. I'll just move the camera out of the way in case there's anything confidential. Aaron has nothing exciting in his drawers. There's like nothing in his drawers. There's a power supply. Alright, well. Yeah. You know, I thought I saw some Creality hot ends out here the other day, but like I said, they just cleaned, and I think that's it. They actually cleaned up. Should I just steal the hot end? Which means this trip, well, I guess this trip wasn't wasted because I needed more tough tube. And you know what? Let's get a new fan. Okay, I don't pack orders. So, but I found them. Wait. Yeah, these should be, hang on. I'm pretty sure this is our 24 volt. Because we use Orion for them. Yup. Alright, well, I'm just going to throw the box out because I got the fan. Alright. Bye-bye, box. Look how nice and clean it is out here. So yeah, a little sneak peek if you guys order from us. Here's our packaging stations here. Here's our craft paper. Look at all these. Look how fancy we are. Look at that. Look how fancy. Look how fancy. We just got this. Look at this fancy-ass scale. It's so fancy. Yeah, shipping station, barcode scanner. Here's noozles. Noozles on noozles on noozles. Heat brakes. You know, I'm pretty sure it says we're out of stock of these. But, hang on. Because someone told me we were out of the titanium heat brakes, but we have them for the V6, and these are clearly the ones for the Creality. So hang on, let me just do a quick check. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Aaron, 18. We have 18. These are the titanium one for the Creality hot ends and the TH3D Tough hot end dual. Alright, anyways. Alright, we got tubing. We're going to steal the hot end. And we're good. Alright. Oh yeah, so yeah, here, this is just, if you guys want to see, this is the rest of the shop. There we go. Rest of the shop. So, it's about 1,800 square feet. And this is for when people are bad and they don't stay off their phones. Aaron locks their phones in here. Smile. All right. All right. I was just in the farm looking for parts. But now we're going back. You like my candy cane lights? Those are candy cane lights. Let's see. Ooh, it's a little chilly. Make sure it closes. All right. Back to my office. Yeah, this is outside my office. So those of you guys are wondering, a little sneak peek, that's my office. Here's my little K40. This is my resin cabinet that doesn't get used. And that was my Ender 5 Plus enclosure. Don't laugh, it worked. And this is like the printer graveyard. There's more printers, more printers, more printers, more printers. Yeah, there's a lot of printers in here. All right. So you can see here I am printing stuff on my Ender 5s. Except, you know what? So this is interesting. So I have, these are pulling up a little. So this is some Chinese plastic. And I'm probably going to let this ride out because I think it's only got like, it's at 24.3. It's going to 40. So the plate is sticking, but because this PLA is warping so much, it's actually pulling the plate off a little bit, like just a little bit. But I'm running the same job on this with the same plate, but this is coax, and you can see it's not warping at all. So the coax does not warp like the Chinese stuff does, and that's PLA. So anyways, big flat parts are not fun to print. You can see here, I got these two are printed on my Ender 5 Plus with that cardboard box. So, anyways, let's switch back over to the computer here. So, be right back. Oh wait, I'm gonna steal the hot end off of this right here. This. Oh, we should be back. YouTube says we're back. YouTubes, are we back? I think we're back. All right. All right, let me steal that hot end off of my test machine. I need to go out there anyways to get the word I'm looking for. I need to go out there anyways to get the tubing, so. All right. Hello, test printer. You are going to become cannibalized. It's for the greater good. For the greater good. Almost. Almost. All right. We have hot. We have the hot end. All right, now we can continue. And I'm going to have to order some Creality hot ends. I'm going to hit up Tiny Machines because I'm willing to bet they have Creality hot ends in stock. I'll give them a shout out. Chris over at Tiny Machines. Chris is Bay. All right. Go ahead and remove the stock heater. And thermistor, and this will go into the Creality block that we just took off the donor machine. They glued this thermistor in here. I swear to God, this is glued in here. This thermistor is like really in here, which is weird. I wonder if they glued this in. See this? I mean, obviously I can splice the thermistor in, but I was hoping to be able to just swap it out. I feel like if I pull on this, it's going to break it. There's no set screw for it. God. What the hell? Heat it up. Not a bad idea. we can still do that when we put the heater back in. You know, I was hoping for a nice, easy stream, and instead we have this. That's what I get for thinking. I'm slightly disappointed. All right, let's go ahead and get that out of there. Let's see. If I preheat it, will the thermistor come out? There's no set screw for the thermistor. There's one for the heater, but not for the thermistor. So now we wait. We heating. Yeah, I did notice that it's on the other side of the block. So I did grab, like I said, this is like basically a Micro Swiss clone. I've had these for a couple of years. You'll see these on AliExpress and Amazon and stuff now. But the issue we had with them when I was testing them is they don't machine that taper out smooth, so you get filament grindings in here, and then the whole hot end clogs. So if you want an all metal, go with the Micro Swiss. These knockoffs are pretty terrible, to be completely honest. You could like use something to smooth it out, but that was the issue we had. I had like 4 or 5 of these, and they were just a pain. All right, let's see if that thermistor will come out now. It does not want to come out. Trying to keep away from the heater cartridge that is hot. But, dude, they must have glued this in here. Are you kidding me? Did they glue their thermistor? What the hell? Yeah, there's no set screw for it. I mean, worst case scenario, rip it out and I have to splice a new one in. And that's in there. That's not coming out. Like, well, the new Hotend fit them out. That's a great question. That's a great question. Let's see. So if that's there, yeah, let's see. Yeah, it'll fit them out. That's correct. So yeah, we're good with this. You know what? Let's pull that back, and we're gonna splice some thermistor lines in tonight. So let's go ahead and cut that back. We're gonna snip that. Goodbye, crappy Hotend. And let's remember that the thicker wires. Oh, look at that. Those are just spliced. That LED is spliced off of here. Off of the Hotend. There's a resistor on it right here in the heat shrink. All right, so the 2 thinner wires that are together, these are the layer fan. These are the thermistor. Usually they use white for the thermistor, but apparently not. I have thermistors handy. So let's splice a thermistor in. So want to get our new thermistor here. Make sure everything's good on that. This is a brand new one. Same type. It's just the NTC 100K. Nothing fancy. So I'm gonna have that. Where are we gonna do the splice? I'm gonna splice a little further up. So I want that thermistor there. It's always good to have too much than too little. and we're going to do it up here. So there we go. So these wires are getting spliced into these. Man, you know, if this didn't have this, this would have been a pretty easy swap for the Hotend. If that old thermistor, or the stock thermistor, was not, like, glued in. Like, you could literally just swap the heater cartridge and thermistor, except they clearly did something. They glued it or something. I'm not sure what they did, but it was not just in there. See if this heat shrink will fit over these wires. Yes, it will. I am going to cut the stream off around like 8:30 because I don't want to go too long tonight. I also wasn't expecting to do this much work on this machine, to be completely honest. I thought this was going to be a pretty easy swap, and that's what I get for assuming. I am going to actually, before I forget, I'm going to order some Hotends real quick. Or at least get them in my cart here. TinyMachines3D.com. Let's see if they have them in stock. So they have the Hotends, but they're the 12-volt ones. They're the same. It's weird how he has these listed, because he has them listed for, I guess, the wires. I'd prefer to get 24-volt. I hate buying stuff from Amazon. Is there any other way that you guys know that sells Corelli Hotends, like another small business? Anyone? Bueller? Because Tiny Machines is my go-to. I check them to see if, like, there's parts that I need. That's usually who I go to. Oh yeah, printed solid. I am not seeing it. They only have, like, the high-end stuff on here. Chris, I don't need 12, because all my machines that use these Hotends are all 24, so I'm begrudgingly going to have to order some from Amazon. Womp, womp. Gulf Coast. Oh yeah, Gulf Coast Robotics. Let's see. Do they have Hotends? They carry that all-metal knockoff, which I already have and have had issues with, so we're not going to use that. This looks like a slightly different version. Maybe this is a different knockoff. But those are $30. They do not have the stock Hotends. Alright, well, I'll begrudgingly order it from Amazon. It looks like this is the Corelli official store, so... Oh, well... Yeah, Amazon is AliExpress East. You're not wrong. It's basically turning into that. Alright. Why do I not like ordering Amazon? Because Amazon has made billions of dollars off this pandemic, and millions of small businesses are going out of business permanently. So I'd like to order from, you know what? I'm just going to order the 12 volt. Well, you know what? He has, Chris at Tiny Machines has the Ender 5 Plus, which is the same Hotend. I'm gonna order those from him. Fuck Amazon. It's more expensive, but you know what? I'd rather give Chris the business. Get an expense on the business anyways. So whatever. It cost me like 15 bucks extra to get it from Chris versus Amazon. So I'll give Chris over at Tiny Machines the business. All right, order's being processed, and there we go. All right, cool. So the Ender 5 Plus uses the same exact Hotend as the Ender 3s. It's just longer cables, and there we go. Chris, did my order ship yet? There we go. All right, back to our scheduled shit show. Yeah, if you guys want an interesting thing about all the stuff with the pandemic and how much money these huge companies have made, go look up. There's a Forbes article. It's trillions of dollars of wealth that have gone towards. I'm not going to trying to get political here or anything, but it's really upsetting when you see millions of small businesses closing, and the number I saw was 40 to 60% of them closing for good, while Amazon is still operating. It's absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. So Bezos can go pound sand. I'm not usually one for raising taxes, but I don't feel bad that he's going to have to pay more taxes. But we all know that they do, you know, all the loopholes and stuff, so they probably won't end up paying anything. But I'd like to think that they do. All right. Let's get my little crappy soldering iron out that I use on my bench here. Get that powered on. My Hako does not reach over here, so... All right. Are we at temp? We're almost at temp. Okay, there's one. Oh, it's focusing on the iron. So there you go. There's one soldered. Solder the other one. All right. Let's move that out of the way, and there we go. We're soldered. I'm gonna pull my heat shrink up. And now we're gonna shrink it. All right. So now we can go ahead and reassemble the hot end. Someone said to flip the block around. But this only goes one way, so we're going to have to... Yeah, because I can't flip this over. These screws are recessed in these holes here. If you look, that hold the hot end. So we're just going to go with it. We're going to make it work. Part of the process. I've soldered many of heater lines, thermistor lines over the years. I have not had issues with properly soldered connections. Now, when you guys are replacing the thermistor on these style hot ends, you don't want to over tighten this screw. The screw just needs to be snug to keep that from backing out. If you over tighten this, you will go through the installation on these thermistor leads, and then you'll short stuff out. So don't do that. All right, let's put the set screw in. All right. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should, because remember the cables come up on that mount on the other side. I'm going to try to slip these behind the block. See how this works out. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. Because I can't exactly flip the block because those screws and the recesses for them prevent me from doing so. But I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. That's actually pretty decent. Let's see if the mount fits. It does have a cavity here. It's going to be good once this is all mounted up. Yeah, we'll be good. All right. Okay, so I can continue on. Or, no, I shouldn't have it go in front. I want to go behind. Do you need those screws there? Okay, we covered the heat tube, but the problem is, unless I have another block, hang on. You know, all I wanted was a nice easy stream, and this is what I got instead. Now, okay, so this is what the block looks like. This is just a different color one. But you see how it's got the recess in it? If I flip this, the screws are going to protrude, and then the thermistor is actually going to be on the top instead of the bottom of the block, because then the thermistor hole also flips. And I'm pretty sure mine are all like this. Yep, they're all exactly the same. Okay, what next? What next? What next? What next? I'm going to see if I can get these in here. So the LED goes in here. This little recess here. LED actually fits in fairly nice. All right. Looks like he's got a cutout here for the fan. But like I said, we're going to replace that fan. Because we know that the fans that come with these machines, they like to die. So now you could use the quick connects, but I'm going to solder these in since I already have everything out. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there, and just a little extra length, and clip that there. The one that's for the layer fan is spliced in with the LED, and that's the shorter one. Okay. I almost put the 40 on the layer fan connection. That would have been embarrassing. All right. Take a little piece of my heat shrink, split it in half. I'm going to put one over each wire. Can't tell you how many times I've forgotten to put heat shrink on wires and realized that after I was done soldering. Now, it's important, if you guys don't know, I'm just going to talk here. When you guys, before you solder anything, you want to make sure you have a good mechanical bond before you solder. Because if you don't, then the quality of the connection is not that great. So before you solder, you want to make sure that you have a good mechanical bond, and then the solder flows into that and locks it all in. You know, I could put the heater cartridge on the other side and just leave the thermistor going behind. Would that make chat happy? Would that make chat stop complaining? Because that is reversible. Because it's just a cylinder. There. We'll move the heater, because that's the beefier wires. Move the heater to the other side. And then chat can stop freaking out about it. Okay, you guys all better now? You guys all better now? You guys are high maintenance sometimes, you know that? And so what I just did here with the side cutters, I noticed there was like little kind of sharper pieces that were like strands that I didn't tuck in all the way. And I'm just trimming them so they don't go into the heat shrink. That one's kind of sloppy. But you know what? Just gotta send it. Because at this point, it's a get this damn project done. So now, I will show you guys this real quick. So, the fans, when you get them from us, they come with these quick connects, and you can put the wires into here, unstripped, put them up into there, and then all you do is take a set of pliers, okay? And you take them and you squeeze them. So like there'd be 2 wires going in here, and you squeeze this and it crimps into the wire, and then that joins them. Now, obviously I just wasted this, but I'll go ahead and throw that out. But that's what those are for. I like doing this. I like soldering and heat shrinking them. It just looks cleaner. But we do include that for those of you that are not as mechanically inclined or electronically inclined or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to try to pull this thermistor out of this stock block. Jesus. They definitely glued this shit in here. This is wild. How are you supposed to replace the thermistor on this Hotend if you can't get the thermistor out? I'm actually surprised it did not break. They definitely like glued this in here. There's no way. There's no way this is not glued in there. Like, ow! The solder went in there. Yeah, it just broke the leg off. Whatever. This, I'm just going to throw this out. Anyways, moving on. Alright, so let's take the new fan and put that on here. And look at that, it lines up. I probably could have gone a little shorter on the cable, but NBD. Alright, so I'm going to use the 4 screws that we took off the fan from the original mount, and these should thread right into the plastic. So I hope you guys get some solace or comfort from knowing that when I'm working on stuff, I get to deal with issues too. So hopefully there's that. I have a feeling this screw, it's just long enough to bite in. Just long enough. I got maybe 3 or 4 millimeters, but it's just a fan. I've dealt with a lot of like mounts that use like where the screws thread in, and for the most part, it usually works well. So there we go. That'll fit it up nicely. Okay. So you see I have excess fan wires here, and even the LED. So even the LED is too long. I'm going to actually take these, and I'm going to splice the layer fan in, and I'm going to stash the extra up into the sleeve. you can kind of fold it over on itself in there. Let's go ahead and get the layer fan connected. Where's my aftermarket one? I have too much crap on this desk. I need a bigger table. So here's the official TH3D one. And we got quite a bit of length on here. So I'm going to go ahead and snip that. I'm going to snip this back a little bit because we only need to come down over to here. So if our fan's here, okay. Yeah, I can stash that up in there. That actually locked in there really nice. So like I said, if you don't know how to solder, you can use included quick connects. I like to solder. It's just cleaner. But you can use them if you're in a pinch, you're in a hurry, you don't have soldering skills or equipment, or both. Feel free to use the included connectors. All the fans we sell come with them, every single one. There we go. We're all spliced. Remember to let your solder joints cool before you pull a heat shrink up, because the heat shrink could start to shrink before you want it to. Ask me how I know. All right. So let's get this all situated on here, and then we'll do some organization and cable management. All that all came together nice. Okay. It's always great when you're like fighting with something and then it just starts working. And like doing what it should do. Did I speak too soon? Are my holes not going to line up? Why are you not going into the back plate? Yep. There we go. All right. We got that. We got this. Oh, wait. I got to put the clip in on the other side. This is actually pretty solid, even without the clip here. But there is a secondary clip here. that goes right here. And I'm probably going to need to go into my screw assortment because there's two M3 screws that go through the side here into this other part. So let me grab my assortment. Where did I put it? I had it. I had it early. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okie dokie. So this is our screw assortment, and normally they're all black or all silver screws, except when you're like me and you use the same size all the time, you have to restock from our overstock. So these are black ones that I'm using, but they're still M3x8s. Where is my 2mm bit? Or my 2.5? What the hell? How did I lose that? I was doing, oh, right here. It was on the printer bed. So M3x8 look like they'll do the trick. Yup. Ah, it's like it was designed for these style screws. Oh, that bit is nice. I like. Oh, that's solid. That ain't going anywhere. All right. All right, all right, all right. Okay. Now, here's the thing. They have this, like, standoff here that I guess this is supposed to lock into. But this is way too big for a standard. Like, this hole is way too big to fit into, like, these are standard 50-15 fan hole on here. So, time to improvise. Snip, snip. Because honestly, you only need the top screw. Doesn't matter. There we go. It does look like the wire goes right here. So on our fan, you see it's got like this little retaining clip. I'm just going to slip these out of here. Right here. Be careful though, because you don't want to rip them off. It's like a strain relief. You know what? I'm not really comfortable with it. Here's what I'm going to do. See if I can fold it back on itself. And then, let's see, because we know this snapped on well. Oh no, we have some clearance back here. We should be good. All right. So now I'm just going to put one screw through here. I think the M3x16. It might be too short. I'm going to M3x20. And then, yeah, M3x20 right here. And we've also got this holding that in. So I'm not really concerned that I snipped that one part off. It was basically one where you could put another screw in, but you got to remember the duct is locking into the fan on the bottom here. So look at, we're good. I don't know why they had that other piece there. That hole should be a little bit smaller for 50-15 fans. All right, so what I need to do now is just clean this cabling up, and I'm going to put the excess cabling up in the loom. I also just realized that I did not put the PTFE fitting in, so that's going to be fun. Oh my god, my big fat fingers. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but still not fun. All right. So we're going to pull this back, and I'm going to, I know this is going to need to go like this. So pull that up. Got the LED and the always on fan wire. Okay. And what you could do, and I think what I'm going to do, is I'm going to put a little piece of tape to hold the extra wire inside there. So let's do this. Just keep these from moving. I'm going to put that here because this will be in the sheathing. We're not going to see it. Okay. There we go. That'll keep those from sliding down. And I've seen manufacturers do this in their looms too. I think that's where I picked it up from. And you see here, we've got like a little loop. Pull this up here. Oh, would you just look at it? Just look at it. Just look at it. Look at it. Let's get some zip ties. Because there is a strain relief built into this mount. It's so satisfying when you get to this step. It's like all coming together. Oh. 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 Okay. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to power it on and make sure everything works. How is that? The only thing I have left to do is put the EZABL mount on the side, which I believe is going to use 2M 3x12s. Or are those going to be too long? M 3x8s. I'm going to go with them 3x12s. That just goes, it's going to get one screw on either side. There's little holes that are for the mount. Oh, wait, is this going to hit the end stop? Oh, we just cleared it. Just cleared the case on the side. Oh, look at that. Just cleared it. We're good. We're good. I did modify this from their BL touch mount they had. So I figured they at least qualified that it would clear the end stop. Okie dokie. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. There we go. So, you guys see it's coming together. So our sensor is going to go right in here. Let's see how we got to mount this. Now the ducts are not lower than the nozzle. Where's my adjustment screw? There it is. Okay. We'll actually measure it later, but I'm just going to put this in here. Oh, oh, beautiful. 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 All right, let's do a power on test, make sure all the fans work, the hot end heats and reads everything. I do like how this looks. This looks super clean. Super clean. Like, this, aside from having to change the hot end, this is a really clean setup. The Red Squirrel, if you're watching, props to you, man. All right, so my fan spins up. Oh, this will also be a lot quieter than that stock fan, too. Now all I hear is a PSU fan. All right, so I am getting a thermistor reading. Let's see if the layer fan kicks on. So I'm going to temperature, fan speed. I'm just going to set it to 100. Oh, oh, it's chooching. It's chooching. If you guys haven't used our fans, these are dual ball bearing fans, and they move a shit ton of air. Oh, this is going to be so much better than the stock one. All right, I am going to put this sock is from the stock hot end, but this should fit the Creality block, and it does. Just got to get it up there. There we go. All right. I wonder if I don't think I have anything to show, but the airflow on this is sick. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna turn the air or the fan on. Let's see. Hopefully I don't melt the part, but I feel like we're far enough away. I was not expecting it to blow the flame out, but it did. Oh, use my vape. That's a great idea. Maybe not. It's blowing too fast. You ever see those smoke pens? I didn't realize those were a thing until like recently. I mean, it's pulling a lot of air. Let me see. Okay, hang on. Let's try this. Take a super fat rip and my vape cloud, bruh. My vape cloud. Bruh. Do you even vape, bruh? Bruh. Was that good enough? I couldn't see. I couldn't see. Did that work? Like, I couldn't see my monitor while I was doing it. Did that actually work? It looked like it was pulling a lot of air. I mean, I can feel the air all the way down, like all the way down here. It worked? Okay, I'll take your word for it. All right, let's do a test heat and see if it works. All right, I'm going to tell the nozzle. Let's see if we broke anything on the nozzle. 240. That shroud should this shroud should work with the micro Swiss. Right by the nozzle, I feel the airflow, like I feel like a pressure point, like right below, like right where the nozzle is. So I think this is going to be amazing. I think this is going to be a good setup. Now, I will say, I don't know if you guys can hear the fan. These layer fans actually are, because they're high flow fans, they are not silent, but you can run them at like 50%, and I'm going to do that right now. And they get significantly quieter, and they still move a ton of air. So, but I don't care about fan noise, so we're just going to yeet it to full speed. Take it easy, Dimitri. All right, so while I'm waiting for the hot end to heat up, I'm going to get my tough tube. Remember, I grabbed the new length. Honestly, guys, it's already 8:13. I might have to make this a two-parter. I think what I might do is get the hot end all wrapped up, and then have to give you guys another stream. But I have to say, I'm glad I swapped the hot end. I'm happy. I'm really happy. This looks really nice. All right, so I have the hot end at 240, and this is the end that I just cut flush. So I'm going to push this down, because remember, there's a Corelli hot end. It goes all the way in. I'll push this down until I feel it stop. And I have the fitting on the top here back down a quarter turn. Now I'm going to tighten it down. Maybe a little more than a quarter turn. Oh, no, there it goes. And now I'm going to tighten. And I'm using needle nose pliers because I don't think I'll be able to get a proper wrench in here. But that tube is locked in now. So now, watch how, if you guys are installing an EZABL, watch how I route the cable here, okay? We don't go up like this, okay? Because then we create strain here on the cable, okay? We want to go down and then up, okay? So, just like this. Now, since this has strain relief, I'm going to tie this to the Bowden tube. Yeah, I'm going to tie that to the Bowden tube. Or actually, if I don't tie it to the Bowden tube, I need to get the tube out later, then it's not going to be an issue. Oh, I just realized this. I could just put it... Hang on. Remember, we got a strain relief channel here. And I can fit these smaller zip ties on here pretty easily. So now, we're not pulling on the top here. And now we're just going to go up in cable management. What's the set of the blue drivers? And people ask me this. I can't remember. I've had them for like 2 years now. I really like these because it's got this extension here, and I can also take this out and put this in like my drill or something. I can't remember. There's no brand on it. So now, this is obviously the stock extruder, but the aluminum one that we're putting on is in the same location, so I can cut this. I'm going to cut a little bit longer than I need. And then just stick it in the stock one for now. Because like I said, this is going to have to be a two-parter because there was more stuff than I anticipated that needed to get done. I'm just routing the EZABL sensor wire along with the stock Hotend wire. So we're just going to follow it all the way back down to the base. And I'll show that in the second stream because we're going to wrap up in about 15-20 minutes here. And I'm going to have a Q&A. So if you guys want to ask questions, you can. But everything's working. The new Hotend is heating. Look at that. Look how nice. This really looks good. The blue tube. I do have a note on the product page, but I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is our latest sensor, and they're the same as the one with the red tops, except I was like, I want blue on our later batches, so our sensor manufacturer got us blue. This just looks super clean. Super clean. I'm really happy with it. Let's see. Well, home X here. And just watch the cables. Just watching the cables, see how everything looks. Got a nice bend. I'm happy with that. Like, pretty happy with that. Let's go ahead and move X. Yeah, this is a nice cooler. Like I said, if I put my finger right by the nozzle, I can feel the air like pooling up around it. So, props to Red Squirrel for making it nice. Like, this is nice and compact. You don't need crazy fan ducts. Like, I like this. I'm a fan. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and just turn this off. I am going to turn the power back on just so this can run to cool the Hotend down. But I'm very happy with how this came out. I think what we'll do is tomorrow we have an Ask Tim because it's Wednesday. Like I said, I wanted to run this stream for about 2 hours and we're past that already. But again, as with, I try to pre-plan as much stuff as I can. In this case, I was not aware that this does not fit the design that I use, but I'm still happy that I went with the design. I think going to the Creality Hotend on this machine, I just ordered one. If you guys don't have one, I ordered one from Tiny Machines 3D. And the only difference, I did order the Ender 5 Plus assembly versus his CR10 one because I have so many 12-volt heater cartridges. But if you ordered either one, if you're putting your own heater cartridge in, it doesn't matter. The difference between a 12-volt Creality Hotend and a 24-volt is just the heater cartridge. The thermistor is the same. That's it. So, like, I don't know if I'm going to put this out in the farm because I actually really like how it came out. I'm not even going to lie. It looks nice. And I think I'll just switch back over. Like, the blue with the black, like, it came out nice. I'm glad I did. I usually do most of my prints for ABS in black, but it's super clean. I really like it. Like, I really like it. So we will do a stream after the Ask Tim tomorrow. I got to check. Let me pull up my calendar here because I know I have a meeting in the morning. But I don't have anything after. So what I think the plan will be, and I will schedule this, is a couple hours after. So the Ask Tim is scheduled from 2 to 2:30 tomorrow. That's 12/23 Wednesday. The Ask Tims are always 2 p.m. Monday, Wednesdays. And I really want to get this done. And I'm actually pretty excited about this, but I do have to get other stuff done tonight. So I'm not up too late. Again, I've been trying to get back on a regular sleep schedule. So if you guys have any questions, I'm going to go back through the chat and see if there's any questions I can answer. But I'm going to say probably like 5 or 6 tomorrow. We'll wrap this up and then do a test print. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how this comes out because the airflow with our 5015 fan on here and that new duct, I think this is going to print really well. I think it's going to print really well. Like I said, the hardest part about recommending this printer is that you have to either know somebody with a printer that can print the duct for you, and then obviously go through what I did. So, still think it's a decent deal for 200 bucks, despite the layer fan issues. So, let's see here. Where did Clara go? Samantha has Clara. Yeah, and we'll put all the rest of the upgrades on tomorrow. So the metal extruder, I'm not a fan of the plastic extruders. I'm not having issues with this one now, but I've had issues where they break in the future. So just like I replaced the fan for the hot end with ours, it's a preventative thing because I know the fans don't last long that come on these printers. I know the plastic extruders crack, so I'm just going to replace them just out of the gate. Like, we do the same thing with our Ender 3s. Like, our Ender 3 ABS farm, we have a dozen Ender 3s, and we've replaced all the fans out of the gate, and if they didn't have a meanwhile power supply, we put meanwhile power supplies on there, and we haven't had downtime on the machines due to power supply failures or fan failures. So it's more of a put the money in, just get it done once. I'm confident that I'm not going to have to change this fan for years. I have the same fan on my Ender 3 Pro that's behind me, and that has 1.5 years of usage on it. I don't know the exact hours, but it's been on for 1.5 years. So yeah. Most of the parts are down below aside from the fan, because aside from the 40mm fan. Everything else should be linked down below. I can change it right now, actually, because I linked pretty much everything else. And the difference between, like, and you'll see it on the reviews, because people have literally said this in reviews, and this is true. You know, like our fans, I think these are like 10 or 11 bucks on our site, the 40mm that I put on there. The difference is you're going to buy this once, and it's going to last you a year or two, versus the ones you buy from Amazon that are like 10 or 15 bucks for 4. They're just going to last as long as the stock ones. They're cheap fans. I don't sell cheap fans. It's bad for repeat business, but you know, I don't like replacing my stuff. I don't think my customers would either. I'm typing while I'm talking right now, so sorry about stopping. I think that's it. EZABL 5015 fan, 40mm, 24 volt, tough tube, aluminum extruder. And I'm going to put a link to I'm going to put a link to Tiny Machines, to the Creality Hotend if you need one of those. Because I love Tiny Machines. Chris, I bought from Chris before TH30 was a thing, and I try to give our business to other small businesses. So I'm going to put that in there. It's listed as an Ender 5 Plus Hotend. It's the same thing I pulled off my Ender 3 for this video. Creality uses the same hotends. So I think that's it. I'm hitting save. There we go. Marlin's already out from us for this machine. I have it on there now, but we will go over setting up the EZABL because this is classified as a custom mount. But I think I will add it in to the next firmware update as like the Red Squirrel EZABL left mount or something like that. Yeah. So, but like this is a sealed, I think it's a hydraulic type. I have to pull it up, but this is a sealed bearing, whereas like most of the cheap ones, they're sleeve and they're not. So you get dust that's in there, and then the sleeve is just usually garbage that breaks down. I think I have everything else. So I got all the part lists in here. I've got the Thingiverse link. Yeah, I have the Thingiverse links here. All right, so I think that's it. The Creality Hotend and the other stuff. All right, cool. Let's see. Let's go back through the chat. We almost to the bench you print. No, I think we're not. We saw a screwdriver. Very nice. You got the logo onto the fans. Yeah, these are made for us. I have from the same manufacturer that makes our 5015s and the 4010 blowers. I have 40mm dual ball bearing samples getting sent to us that are a good mix, like what we have now, between airflow and noise. So But we have a good source. We've been selling these fans. These are made by a company called Orion, and they're really good. But I'm all about having branded fans. I love it. It looks nice. Let's see. Do I always prefer the larger diameter ABL over the smaller one? Yeah, unless I have a printer that actually needs the physically smaller probe, I go with the 18. The weight difference between the two is negligible, and the 18 is a little bit cheaper. 18s also tend to be better supported on aftermarket mounts, but like for our 12s, we include little adapter rings that adapt the 12 millimeter diameter to 18. I went up a little bit in chat. If I missed something, post it now, or you can wait till tomorrow. WC1376, give me something to aim for with mine. That'd be cool as everybody does the same thing. I mean, here's the reality. I'm going to set this up, and this is going to be used how I built it for probably years. That's how I do things. I don't mess with my printers too much. I do the upgrades I like. I already know what I like, obviously. I do the upgrades I like, and that's about it. So, yeah. Okay, so that's it. Did I use the SH Shroud 5015 duct? Yeah, I did. Did I put Marlin on it? Yeah, I did. Redline asked, do the ABLs read better if they're larger? It really depends on the sensor. The main thing that changes with ours anyways, the ones that we're using, is the detection distance on the smaller ones because it's a smaller tip. That's where the actual circuit, like the little board that actually does all the detection and the emission, I think that's the right word, of the field. It's a slightly smaller detection distance. But we're talking the 18s go up to 10. Now, that's not the highest accuracy from 0 to 10. There's a reason we guys have you calibrate them per our guide at certain millimeter distances because those are the optimal distances for the most accuracy. But whereas like the 12s, those are a max of 5 detection distance. So our 18s run best in the 3 to 5 millimeter detection distance, and the 12s run best in the 3 to 4. So, but if you follow the directions for the installation for our EZABLs, we guide you through, mount it at this height, and then calibrate at this height, and it puts you in the sweet spot. So, anyways, yeah, so I appreciate everybody stopped by, and we will pick this up tomorrow. I will post the official, like, I'll make a new thumbnail and everything of, like, a wrap-up, and then it'll be later tomorrow evening. Somewhere around 5 or 6 p.m. Central Time is what I'll shoot for, probably closer to 6. But I will confirm that tomorrow once I see how the day's going, and I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like I always say, happy printing. Stay safe out there, everybody.